Hello and welcome to today's office hours presentation. This is Paul Hoyt. Our office hours presentation is a relaxed, informal mentoring program that we do every Monday, almost every Monday, at noon Pacific time. All these recordings, slides, and exercises are archived in our members area, and all of the recordings are available on my YouTube channel at youtube.com/user/Paul Hoyt. The reasons we do these office hours presentations is that being a successful small business owner can be a great experience, but I also know that it's tough. You need education, training, tools, and teammates in order to be successful. And we want you to get to know us here at the Hoyt Management Group, because when you do, you'll know that first and most importantly, that we want you to know that we care about you. We want you to succeed in every area of your life, whatever that means to you. We want you to find the greatness, the happiness, the divinity within yourself, and then remember it, embrace it, and live it every single day as we try to do. Our passion is to increase the survival rate, accelerate the growth rate, and reduce the struggle rate of businesses in America. And our vision is to help millions of CEOs and entrepreneurs accelerate their business growth and enjoy greater harmony and balance in their lives. And we really appreciate you passing the word. If you find these office hours presentations valuable to you, if you find that occasionally going back and watching one of the recordings to help you get grounded in a concept or a principle is valuable to you, then we strongly encourage you to pass along the news about office hours to members of your community, because we want to do everything we can to help people around the United States in their businesses by helping them be very grounded in the fundamental concepts of starting and growing a business. In the office hours programs, we have an in-depth discussion of a business success principle. I offer some closing remarks, an occasional special offer, an invitation for next week's session, and then we go into open Q&A and coaching. So as we're doing the office hours presentation today, please write down your questions, because you'll get an opportunity to ask them live at the end of the broadcast, or you can type them into the chat log and we'll just answer them anonymously or give you credit for the question whenever you type it in. We encourage you to join us online in the Awakened CEO communities on both LinkedIn and Facebook, where we publish a business success principle of the day on Facebook and LinkedIn 4 days a week. And I do an energy of the day posting every day on Facebook. We're up to about number 662, I believe today was. We also encourage you to join us with the Awakened CEO Conversation. It's an interactive webinar where we do with a special guest. The next one will be a week from Wednesday on September the 23rd, 6 p.m. Pacific time. Watch your emails for sign-up information. This office hours presentation on Monday is primarily focused on business growth. The Awakened CEO Conversation that we do every other week is focused on personal growth, because we really believe in the power of personal growth to help you create and enjoy a much stronger business. Today's topic for our office hours presentation is a quarterly planning event preview. We're having our first ever strategic planning quarterly event this Saturday, September the 19th, from 8:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Pacific time, or 11:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's a 4-hour event that I know that you're not going to want to miss. In this, as we always try to relate the subject matter of our office hours presentation to one or more of the key performance areas of business, and this presentation is all about leadership. It's your responsibility as the CEO of your company or a senior executive at your company to take the reins of the leadership of your business. And good leaders occasionally pop their head up above the surface of whatever they're doing and look around to see how things are going and adjust their plans accordingly to what they see, to new opportunities that could come about for them, to new challenges that they face. And it's really important to periodically adjust your planning as in your responsibility as leader of your company. So this planning workshop is all about your taking responsibility to be a great leader of your company. We also try to relate all of our office hours presentations to one or more of the 3 levels of performance that we talk about: mindset, methods, and momentum. And this is really about all 3. We're going to talk today about important mindsets in growing your business. We're going to offer some of the methods for growing and planning and growing your business when we'll offer them today and on Saturday when we do our quarterly planning event, so that you can increase the momentum of the progress of your business. Today, we're going to talk about outcomes for the quarterly planning event. We'll talk about logistics for the quarterly planning event. And then we'll talk about the 4 sections that we're going to address this Saturday. Section 1 on critical concepts, Section 2 on establishing your clear vision, Section 3 on determining your status, and Section 4 on creating your plan. And then, as always, we're going to sum up today's office hours presentation with a little bit of conversation about the bottom line. First, we want to talk about the outcomes of our quarterly planning event this Saturday. We're going to give you an opportunity to get grounded or regrounded in the critical concepts and principles for your business. I think it's very important for you to hear some of these critical concepts more than just once. And I'm going to review those here in just a little bit, but it's your opportunity to take a step back and to review some of what I consider to be my most important messages to the entire business community. And this is your opportunity to review them for yourself and think about them again for yourself. You know, there's some messages that are so darned important and that it's just not right to just hear them once and then forget about them. We need to hear them over and over and over again. That's why we go to hear inspirational speakers and motivational speakers, even though they rarely say something that we haven't heard before. We go because we need to be reminded of those concepts and principles from time to time. So that's one of the most important pieces of value, one of the most important benefits and outcomes that you're going to get from this Saturday's presentation. You're also going to get a very clear understanding of where you are today. We're going to give you the opportunity to look around and assess your business in all of the different key performance areas of business. Then we're going to give you the opportunity to set goals for next quarter and to set some of the steps in place, or to define some of the steps that you need to take in order to achieve that goal. And we're also going to be offering some bonuses, some surprises along the way. We're trying to create an event here, and I believe we have created an event that's going to be of considerable value to everybody who chooses to invest 4 hours of their time in this quarterly planning event. Now, this is an unusual event for us. It's got different logistics than any other event that we have ever created. First of all, you need to sign up separately. And we're going to give you the sign-up information, the URL that you can go to in a couple of places in today's presentation, towards the end of it. And then in our questions and answer session, we're going to give it to you so you can copy it down and go sign up separately. So just because you're hearing this office hours presentation, or you've signed up for our Quick Start program or our office hours presentation, or you are otherwise a member of the Awakened CEO community and our tribe, you still have to sign up separately for this workshop. Secondly, it's live only. It's not going to be recorded. And we're doing that for a couple of reasons. Number one is all of the materials that we're going to review are already recorded and online in our tribal area in more depth and more detail than we're going to go over it on this Saturday. So I don't want to diffuse the longer message by having a shorter message, and that's one of the reasons. But the second one is because whoever shows up, you can be sure that this is going to be a confidential conversation in between you and me and just the other people on the call, whether it be 10 or 20 people. I'm not sure how many people are going to be there. But whatever you choose to discuss when we get into our quarterly or into our coaching part of the presentation on Saturday, you can be sure that it's not going to be recorded and it's not going to be out there for all time, because I want this to be a little bit intimate and a little bit confidential, and that's why it's live only and not recorded. Third, it's going to be a workshop format, and the workshop format means that we're going to talk about key concepts and principles, and then we're going to give you some exercises so that you can ground them into your business. So there are materials that you will have to download at the start of the webinar or when you sign up for the webinar. We'll make sure that you get them so that you can have them at your disposal. And it does mean that I'd like for you to be on your computer whenever you're attending the webinar so that you can actually fill out the exercise materials and really make this as a workshop. We want you to have takeaways. We want you to have real value with these exercises that we're going to ask you to perform at each one of the 4 sections. And it is 4 hours long, so it's longer than most of the webinars that we do. Most of the ones that we do, the office hours and the Awaken Conversations, are only an hour long, somewhere between 50 minutes and an hour or so. This one's 4 hours long, but we are going to take a break every single hour. There are 4 sections, and we are going to have, I'll talk for probably 30 or 40 minutes. We'll take another 10 minutes or so for you to complete an exercise and open it up for coaching and discussion. Then we'll take a 5 or a 10-minute break, and then we'll come back and do that again 4 times in a row. Again, there are discussions, but we're going to have questions and answers and coaching and exercises in every single section, because we are committed to delivering the most value that we possibly can to you to help you make the 4th quarter of 2015 the most productive quarter that you've ever had. In section 1 of our quarterly planning workshop, we're going to do a critical concepts review. The mindset that I'd like for you to have whenever you're thinking about section 1 is that professional growth is absolutely essential to business growth. As a business owner, you are being asked to do things that you've never done before. You have to learn how to do them. And unfortunately, here in the United States, the critical education in business success principles and guidance is not provided in our high schools. It's not provided in our colleges, and it's very difficult to learn when you have a job in corporate America where you're just focused on your job day after day after day. As far as I can tell, critical concepts that are necessary for you to be successful as a CEO are not being taught anywhere except for in the series that we're doing. So we're going to review these critical concepts with you. And I encourage you to have a student's mindset. I remember when I was a young man and I first heard in high school the concept of lifelong learning, which was fascinating to me because I thought that once you graduated high school, you either stopped learning or you went to college, and then once you finished college, you stopped your learning too. It was an interesting switch of my perspective to think about lifelong learning. But today, with the world's information available at our fingertips on the internet, we are all lifelong learners. And I really want you to have a student's mindset when it comes to section 1 of the planning workshop this Saturday. We're going to talk about several of the most important concepts and principles that I talk about. First, we're going to talk about the Awaken CEO growth process, which is our 5-step process to getting the job done. First, we set the vision, then we set the status, then we create a plan, then we gather the resources that we need to execute the plan that we have created, and then we go into execution mode. And in fact, the quarterly planning workshop is about these first 3 things. So in section 1, we're going to be talking about critical concepts. In section 2, we'll be talking about vision. In section 3, we'll be talking about status. In section 4, we'll be talking about plans and giving you the opportunity to create your plans. The next critical concept that we're going to be talking about on Saturday is the levels of performance. We're going to talk about the importance of mindset, the importance of methods, and the importance of momentum. As it turns out in business, just having 1 or 2 of these is not enough for you to be successful. If you don't have the proper mindset, you can have all the methods and be struggling with momentum. If you have the proper mindset, but you don't have the good methods in place, then you're going to struggle a tremendous amount with the momentum. And if you have mindset and methods, but you don't take action, you don't focus on the momentum, you're just not going to be very successful in your business. So we're going to remind you about the levels of performance and talk about them in depth. We're also going to talk about the classes of business. We have defined 5 different classes of business: the startup class, the steady growth class, the rapid expansion class, the turnaround class, and the exit mode class. So we'll be talking about each one of those 5 classes of business and how they're each different from one another, so you can get a really good feeling about where you are in your class of business and begin to take action accordingly to where you are. And we're going to talk about the 5 Choices program. So many of you who signed up for our Quick Start program have had a chance to review the 5 Choices program, but I think it's one of the most significant pieces of content that I've created in my life, so I want to review it with you. And for your quick review, those 5 choices are to know your business, to know your job today in your business, to build your team, to focus on building yourself, both professional growth and personal growth. And the last one, and I think even the most important one, is to focus on execution, to adapt, to improvise, to overcome, to get the job done. As I was talking with Stephanie earlier today, we said it's one thing to have an idea about digging a ditch, and it's another thing to create a plan about digging a ditch. But the most important thing is that you pick up the shovel and actually dig the ditch. So execution to me is by far the most important thing that you could possibly do in your business. And we're going to remind you of that and talk a little bit about it. So in section 1, again, we're going to do a critical concepts review. And again, I want your mindset to be that professional growth is essential to business growth, that key concepts bear repeating so that we can be reminded of them and so that we can be grounded in them, and that critical education is not provided almost anywhere else, so you're going to have a student's perspective. Then in section 2 of the planning workshop this weekend, we're going to talk about your vision, and I want your mindset to be that you can create and communicate a powerful vision for your company that inspires everyone who reads it. That is why we take a vision, is it's to guide and direct the activities of the people that we work with and to inspire ourselves and the people that we work with. Your vision, some of the concepts we'll talk about is why it's important to start with the why, to really find that aspect of your business that causes you to be passionate, that gets you very excited about the value that you're bringing to other people. We're going to talk about the power of language. We're going to talk about the importance of having a very clear vision and communicating that well. And we're going to give you some examples of having a very powerful vision statement. And the exercise after the end of section number 2 here will be for you to create or to update your vision and then share it with the other people who are on the call. Because I really want you to hone that vision in and adjust that vision if you need to adjust the vision for your business. In section 3 of our planning workshop this weekend, we're going to talk about your status. And I want your mindset to be that it is essential to be objective and honest about where I am in relationship to where I want to be. I have to know my gaps before I can close my gaps. And this is certainly the mantra that we have at the Hoyt Management Group, that in order to get to where you are, or in order to achieve your dream, you have to know 2 things. You have to know where you're going, which is your vision and your goals, and you have to know where you are today so that you can put a plan in place in order for you to get from where you are to where you want to be. It's very important for you to know your status, and in this section we're going to review the key performance areas of business and give you an opportunity to create your own business foundation profile. In every office hours presentation, I talk about the key performance areas of business, the 7 key performance areas that I first defined in my book in 2004 called The Foundation Factor, where I asserted that how important it was for business owners to be well grounded in each one of the key performance areas of business. So we're going to talk about what it means to be an effective leader. We're going to talk about what it means to be effective in sales and to be a good salesperson. We're going to talk about the importance of service and delivery and how important it is for you to be very, very good when it comes to delivering your products and services. We're going to talk about marketing and what it means to be excellent in marketing. We'll talk about product development, operations administration, and financial management, spending about 4 to 5 minutes on each one of these subjects so that you can create for yourself your own business foundation profile. And this is an example of a common business foundation profile that shows, in this particular case, a company that is very strong in customer service and product development, but really not very good at all in sales and really poor in marketing. In order for you to create a plan to grow your business, it's really important for you to accurately know what your status is today so that you can set your goals and set your plans accordingly to improve your productivity, improve your performance in the next quarter of your business. In section 4, the last of the 4 sections of our quarterly planning event, we're going to talk about creating your plan and give you an opportunity to create your plan. And we want your mindset to be that you can find a path to get from where you are to where you want to be. And that once you find your way, you can gather your resources and relentlessly follow your plan in order to create the business that you want to create. It's really important for you to believe in your ability to create a great plan and then to follow that plan in order for you to get the results that you want to get. We're going to talk about the power of goals, which I believe is the first step in turning your dreams into reality. It really takes the intangible and makes it something that's measurable and tangible. It makes it very real to you, and it is a smart thing to do. And of course, we're going to talk about the SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bounded, and the different acronyms that go along with that, with the different definition that goes along with the SMART acronym. We're going to give you the opportunity to create your own 90-day growth plan for the 4th quarter of this year, where you're going to take the top 3 to 5 goals that you want to achieve here in Q4 of 2014, and we're going to help you take key action steps to achieving those goals, to define those key action steps. And this is the next step in creating the project plan to grow your business. This is the final of the 4 sections that we're going to cover this Saturday that's going to give you a better plan and a much clearer vision of what it is that you want to accomplish, a much clearer idea of what your status is today, and a clearer plan to help you get from where you are today to where you want to be at the end of 2014. Here's the bottom line. The bottom line is we really believe that quarterly planning is essential to rapid growth. It's very, very important for you to invest time as the leader of your business in stopping what you're doing and stepping back and reminding yourself of what your vision is and why you are doing what you are doing, and then assessing your status and adjusting your plans to go forward. We think that's real important to do every quarter. And you have one more quarter left to make 2015 a fantastic year for you. So I encourage you to block out time this Saturday to boost your productivity and boost your results here for 2014. And you can sign up today, by the way, at hoytgroup.com/events/strategic-planning-workshop. That's hoytgroup.com/events/strategic-planning-workshop. We're going to have this URL on the screen during our questions and answers phase. But I do want to remind you that you do have to sign up separately. That because you're watching office hours, because you're otherwise a member of our community, doesn't mean necessarily that you're automatically enrolled in this Saturday's workshop. So that was our agenda for today. We talked about the outcomes and the value that we know that this workshop is going to bring to you. We talked about the logistics and how this is different from any other presentation or workshop that we've ever done. We reviewed section 1 on critical concepts, section 2 on your vision, section 3 on your status, and section 4 on your plan, and summed it all up with the bottom line. So we're going to go into live questions and answers and coaching in just a minute, where we're going to entertain comments and questions on the topic of the day, and then anything else that you want to talk about. I really want you to tell me what your biggest takeaways are and any insights that you gained from this presentation today. And of course, if you're planning to come to the presentation and the workshop this Saturday, I'd like to know about it as well so that I can get excited about seeing you there. And I want you to tell me what you're going to focus on in between now and Saturday, and whether or not you're going to be there on Saturday. Here at the Hoyt Management Group, we offer a wide variety of support services. And some of our services and products are where we simply teach you. We have a lot of education and training programs, not to mention the 90 office hours presentations that are available on our website. We also have the 5 Choices program, the Business Survival Bootcamp, and the best one of all, our Awaken CEO Foundations program, which gives you the grounding, really the fundamental training that you need to make sure that you understand best practices in businesses throughout. We also have do-it-for-you services where we help you create your your growth plans and strategic plans. We help you create your business plans and financial models. And in some cases, we do things for you as well. For example, we have CFO and bookkeeping services that we provide where we actually do the work and then we report the work back to you. I want to remind you that we have an Awaken CEO Conversation program as well. The next one is a week from Wednesday on September the 23rd at 6 p.m. Pacific time. Watch your emails for sign-up information and for information on who will be our special guest at the next Awaken CEO Conversation. And by the way, the last one we had with Shane McKenna was just tremendous. Everybody on my team, everybody I know who watched that or saw the recording said it was just awesome, because Shane is a pretty awesome dude, one of my very favorite people on this planet, and I really encourage you to listen to the recording if you are not able to attend that live. Our next office hours presentation will be next Monday on September 21st. I'm not sure what we're going to talk about, but if you have any topics that you'd like for us to talk about, please go to paulsurvey.com and let us know. And in between now and the time that we talk next Monday, I strongly encourage you to come to the workshop and do whatever homework you have in mind. So now we're going to go to open questions and answers and coaching. And here's the URL that's really important for you to see. It's to sign up today for our quarterly planning workshop at hoytgroup.com/events/strategic-planning-workshop. And if you have any questions or you want to schedule any time, you can contact me at my email address and the telephone number that are on your screen, or you can go to schedulepaul.com and pick a time that's convenient for you for a quick 15-minute check-in. And with that, we're going to open it up for any questions or comments that you have about today's office hours presentation, and then about anything else that you want to talk about. Stephanie, do we have any comments or questions for today?
We do. We have a question from one of our guests. I have another meeting on Saturday, she says, and is there any way I can get access to the handouts, since it looks like I will be missing a very important meeting?
Why don't you give me a call and let's talk about that, because we may be able to do something, special for you in order to do that. The intention is that we do this once a quarter, and you're not, and it's just you're either there or you're not. It either worked out for you or it didn't work out for you. But I would like to talk to you about that individually. So I invite you to give me a call and see if we can't chat about that. Because there may be some other ways in which we can bring significant value to you or point you to the 3 or 4 or 5 office hours recordings that we'll be touching about in briefly here, and then share that with you. So we do want to help you, of course. And I don't know if I said this too many times or at all during the presentation, but the presentation on Saturday is free. There's no additional charges for this whatsoever. So let me know just give me a call and we'll talk about it. Maybe I can find a way to make that happen. And it may be that you're able to get somebody from your team there as well. If you're not able to attend it live, it may be helpful for you to have somebody on your team. Thanks for that idea, Stephanie, by the way. She just sent me that idea. So I'm going to give her credit for that, because I like to give credit to people when they have great ideas, because as we know, as I like to say, God doesn't give all the great ideas to just one person. He seems to spread them around, or she seems to spread them around to all of us. So I'm open to hearing great ideas from anybody. And hopefully that was helpful. I look forward to connecting with you on that. Stephanie, next question or comment, please.
Well, this one, we might as well address this one. Can I invite other members on my team to join us?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're sign up for this, you're welcome to have them sign up separately, or they'll need to sign up separately from you if you're in different locations. If you want to make it a planning day and you're just gathered around your own monitor and you're sitting there working together on things, then they don't need to sign up separately. But if they're in Tucson and you're in Phoenix, or they're in California and you're in New York City, then they will have to sign up separately, because I think only one person at a time can click on a link for GoToWebinar. I haven't tested that out, but I think that that's the best way to do. And that's the best way to make sure that they get the handouts and the exercises too, because we're going to make sure that everybody who signs up for this, we'll have them available. I think we're going to send out the exercises and all of the documentation that we're going to provide with this workshop via email prior to the workshop. So have them sign up separately. And yeah, we'd love to have as many people on your team as you want come to the workshop so that they can gain the value from it as well. Next question, Stephanie.
Okay. Why do companies need to plan every quarter anyway?
That's an interesting question. I've had that question before. And the best that I can figure is that it has to do with the seasons of the year, that we're used to thinking of our year in terms of 4 seasons, in terms of winter, spring, summer, and fall. And that has carried over into the corporate America. And at some point in time, and I don't know when this happened, large public companies are required to report their results every quarter. They have to give a 10Q, I think it's called, report that is required by our federal government for every public company. So that pattern, I don't know if the pattern of reporting results quarterly came before the legislation or the legislation came afterwards. My guess is that the pattern of reporting results quarterly was just a kind of an informal process that most companies did before it became the law that you have to do that if you're a public company. And then it just has carried on into smaller private companies as well. I think it first started with the 4 seasons, and then it just became kind of a tradition of the way that business is done, not just in the United States, but worldwide. People set their quarterly, report their quarterly results. Of course, one of the challenges with that is that if you're a public company, is that you're expected to have great results every single quarter. And public companies have a real challenge with thinking about things in the long term and sacrificing today for a stronger tomorrow because of the emphasis on quarterly results. At private companies, we don't have to worry about that near as much as they do at larger companies and public companies. But that is one of the challenges of reporting results quarterly if you have a public company. So that's where I think that it came from. Anyway, I think it's a great tradition. I think that there may be actually something instinctual or in our collective consciousness about seasons and seasonality and reviewing things every 3 months or every quarter. So to me, it just feels right to do that. And it's probably because of the culture in which I was brought up, and it may have something to do with the seasons that we experienced when I was growing up back home in Kansas. Out here in California, they don't have very many seasons. It's kind of like rainy season in winter, and then the rest of the year is like springtime. So, but I do remember what it was like to have a lot of seasons when I was growing up. Next question or comment, Stephanie.
Okay. What if I didn't set any goals for this year, for 2015? What if I'm just getting started?
If you're just getting started, I strongly encourage you to set goals for Q4 2015. So if you had some for 2015, it's a chance for you to review those goals and adjust those goals. If you haven't set goals for your business before, then this is an opportunity for you to do it for the first time and see how the power of setting goals and focusing your attention and the attention of your teammates on those goals can really accelerate and boost your productivity. So if you haven't done it before, hey, it's okay. If we don't have anything to review, that's okay. We'll just start from scratch. You'll get reminded of the key concepts in business. We'll give you an opportunity to create or update the vision for your business. We'll give you an opportunity to reassess your current status or to assess your status for the first time. And we'll give you an opportunity to adjust your plans or create your plans for the first time this Saturday. So it's okay if you haven't done it before. And of course, you'll get an opportunity to do it in set your goals for 2016 later on. Stephanie, next question.
Okay. I know what I want to do, but am challenged with having the resources in place to do it. Can you help me with that?
Yeah, we can. We really pride ourselves in helping people make great progress in their business, wherever they are, whatever they want to accomplish, and whatever resources that they have. There's always a next step that's just right for you. So, for example, if you don't have the resources to engage with a coach right now, then we have 90 office hours presentations that you can review on your own. There's always an opportunity for you to make progress on your own if you can't afford teammates. Some of those office hours presentations are especially appropriate if you find yourself short of resources. Office hours number 3 or 4 was on what to do if you have no money. Office hours 18 is on the 6 stages of raising capital. We have lots of office hours on creating effective partnerships. So there are a lot of good ideas for you out there right now that are available for you for free, so that you can learn key concepts and principles in generating money when you have no money, in attracting great partners when you don't have any partners, and in raising capital if you need to raise capital if that's the right thing for you to do. So there's always a next step, and in a particular case of our business, there's always a free next step that you can take. We do that because we really do care about people. We do think that business owners are, really the greatest people on the earth that I've ever had the opportunity to meet with and work with are people who are starting and growing their own business. We know that it can be a struggle. We know that you need a lot of support, so we're offering that support. When you are ready, we have a silver package, we've got a gold package, we've got a diamond package, and we've got ways that you can engage with us to get that additional training and support that you need, to get sampling or a lot of our do it with you services or do it for you services, because again, we care about you. So and by the way, we have a lot of planning services and execution services. So we can help you create those plans, and then we can help you implement the plans that we help you create, to offer you good advice, good counsel, good resources every step along the way, regardless of where you are in your business, what stage of business that you're at, or the resources that you have available at your disposal today. Hopefully that helps a lot. Stephanie, do we have any other questions or comments?
What if I have a unique issue, something that is out of the ordinary with your agenda? Will you have time to work with me on that?
I will, if it's something that's appropriate for you to talk to us about now in this coaching call. We're happy to address that because we have some time here, and you can talk about it anonymously, so that if it's something that's confidential. For example, I have some people say that they're considering litigation with their teammates, or they're having challenges in ways that it's just not appropriate for us to put their name on the recording. You're welcome to do that. And we will have time to address some of those issues this Saturday. We do have time to address it on each one of these office hours calls. And if that doesn't work for you, you're always welcome to go to schedulepaul.com and pick a time for a little conversation, and we'll see if we can't help you out in that way too. So I wonder if this is something that we can chat about right now. What do you think, Stephanie?
It doesn't look like there's any more information forthcoming, so it must be something that we'll have to chat about at the event.
Okay, and you're also welcome to send me an email if you like. So we can do it at the event this weekend, or you're welcome to send me an email or a call, and we'll do what we can to give you a little quick advice. Next question or discussion topic, Stephanie.
Are you going to do these workshops every quarter?
That's the plan. That's why we call it a quarterly planning workshop. I kind of hinted at that earlier, but we do anticipate in doing one in late December, so that you can begin to set your plans for 2016. And then we plan to do one every quarter in 2015, so that you can adjust your plans and make new plans for the following quarter. So that is the intention, to do these quarterly planning workshops every quarter. They may not always be for free. This one is for free because we're getting started on it. We want to see what the value is for the clients out there. And if you attend on it, of course, we're going to give you the opportunity to tell us things that we could do differently and things that would make it even more valuable for you. So we may do this for fee in 2016, but for right now, this one is absolutely free. So we encourage you to sign up and attend and take advantage of this free offer that we've got for you. Next question or comment, Stephanie.
Okay. For the interactive exercises, will my team be able to participate in those at this event, the workshop as well?
Yeah, they certainly will. If they sign up separately, everybody who signs up for the workshop is going to get an email with the exercises that we have there, most of them which are going to be Word documents. So you're going to have a Word document that you can print off and that you can fill out, or you can fill out electronically in some cases, and in one case you would have to print it off and use your crayons to fill it out because it's more of a visual thing. So everybody's going to have an opportunity to do that. And if you are, if you want to fill it out in a collaborative style with your teammates, then you can take that Word doc and upload it to Google Docs, for example, and make it shareable amongst you and your team so that you can fill it out together and interactively, online, which can be a really good thing. There's only one of the exercises that you won't be able to do that with, but the rest of them you'll be able to actually create your own collaborative workspace. And my favorite one is Google Docs. I'm not familiar with other collaborative workspaces out there, but I'm sure that there are, so that you can actually work on the document together at the same time, real time, in a collaborative fashion. So that's one way that you could do that. Hope that's helpful. Next question, Stephanie.
I wonder if you could talk a little bit and explain about why we're doing this virtually as opposed to in person.
There's a couple of reasons we want to do that. Number one is for us, and the second one is for you. And the first one is for us is because anytime that you schedule an in-person event, there's a lot of overhead involved with that. It does take, generally speaking, 12 weeks or so, or some 6 months, to effectively plan and pull off a real live face-to-face event. So we wanted to do the virtual event to see, to fine-tune it, to hone it, to do our market research before we invested the money necessary in order to do this, in face-to-face. If we find out by doing it face-to-face, we can bring more value, and if we find out that we've got 5 or 10 people or more who want to come to do a face-to-face planning event on a quarterly basis, we will certainly turn this into a face-to-face event. So one of the reasons why we did it virtually was for us, so that we wouldn't have the risk of investing a lot of money in a face-to-face event into a live event that nobody came to. The second reason is for you, is because when we do a virtual event, that allows you to participate wherever you are in the United States. And it can take a long time, and it can be pretty expensive for our friends in New York City, for example, to fly across the country and attend a face-to-face event. So this is the opportunity for people wherever you are. And our clients are nationwide. We have very few clients that are within driving distance of Santa Clara, California, where I live. Most of the companies that we work with are in Southern California, back in Colorado, in Florida, in New York. They're all over the United States, in Washington. So wherever you are, this virtual event gives you an opportunity to participate without having to jump on an airplane and fly across the country and put yourself up in a hotel and incur other expenses as well that are required whenever you have a face-to-face event. We think that when you do a face-to-face event, that it should be 2.5 to 3 days or so in order for you to really gain benefit from and see the justification in the travel expenses and the travel time associated with those face-to-face events. So those are the big reasons why we're doing it virtually this time. and some of the reasons that we might do it face-to-face in the future if it really takes off and people find a lot of value from it. Next, that was a great question. Thank you. Next question, Stephanie.
That's all we have today.
Well, if that's all the questions and the comments that we have today, I want to thank you for attending this Monday's office hours presentation. I want to encourage you to listen to more of the office hours presentations. This one will be up in a few minutes, and it's number 90, so there are 89 other ones that you can listen to. There are a bunch of topics, so I'm confident that you will find those that are of significant value to you. Please sign up for our quarterly strategic planning event that we're doing for free this Saturday by going to hoytgroup.com/events/strategic-planning-workshop. And we hope to see you there on Saturday. And until we see you on Saturday, or at the next office hours presentation next Monday, and the next Awaken Conversation a week from Wednesday, this is Paul Hoyt wishing you a most marvelous and prosperous day. Bye-bye.